Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I finally have an update video for the Mustang. It finally got it to the track. I've been waiting for it to cool off. Also, we had the COVID thing, which shut the track down completely. Then when they finally opened it back up, I'm not going out racing in 110-degree weather. It's just not happening. Picked a day that was supposed to be cool. Just coincidentally that the track was having an event that day. I'm like, sweet, that's perfect. Then the weather updated and ended up being 105 anyways. So really not the best weather for racing, but at that point I was already committed. I was going. I only made 2 passes. I could have hung out and made more, but there was really no point. The tires in this car are bald, dry, and cracked. So I wasn't expecting any miracles. I was hoping for better than I did, but it is what it is. So first pass, no ice in the intercooler. My wife, who was bringing the ice to me, didn't make it to the track in time, and they started racing probably about 15 minutes earlier than they said they would. So I was already in line. I wasn't going to get out and get back in line, so I said, screw it. I'm running such low boost, I don't really care. I'm going to run it with no ice. So we just ran it with the room temperature water that was in it. And when I came back from the pass, I stuck my hand in the tank thinking, oh, it would be a little bit warm. No, it was really hot. So I actually jerked my arm out of there real quick, not expecting it to be quite as warm as it was. And it took 2 full bags of ice just to get it back down to an acceptable temperature. But anyways, so not enough of a burnout in the first pass. I don't know, lack of practice. It's been years since I've been to the track, so it's understandable. Also, knowing that the tires were as bad as they are, I should have known to do a better burnout. Whatever, hindsight's fit 2020 or whatever. So the first pass, which I'll show you here in a second, was a 12, I got the time slip here, 12.5. 12.5 at 109 miles. And wait, was that mine? Which pass is mine? I'm sorry. No, it was a 12.4 at 99 miles an hour. The reason why is because I had to get out of the gas 3 times. Every single gear, as soon as I got near 5,000 RPMs, tires would completely blow off. No traction whatsoever. You'll see it in the clip. I'm in and out of the throttle trying to get it to put the power down. And I'm running real low boost, 3,300 RPM launch RPM. I didn't even make it onto the 2-step when I launched on that first pass. So we weren't making any boost whatsoever, left the line with no boost. First gear was 4 pounds of boost. And from second and third gear, we were at 8 pounds of boost. Keep in mind, this motor has seen 30 pounds of boost. So it was turned way down. So the fact that I still couldn't put the power down, it took off fine, no issues there, but it was when you got to about 5,000 RPM. You can see the tach, it's kind of visible in the video. The shift light is set to 5,800 RPMs. Again, I knew I didn't have very good tires, so I was really trying to baby it. Like I said, I probably launched around 3,000 RPM. It's hard to tell. I have to look at the data log. But if I remember correctly, my data log wasn't working very good in the first pass. It started late, don't know why. But anyways, the video appears about 3,000 RPM launch. Like I said, 4 pounds in first gear, 8 pounds in second and third. Still couldn't get traction past 5,000 RPM, and I basically coasting across the finish line. I was completely out of the gas, already had overdrive turned on by the time I made it to the end of the race. So not super impressive. It is what it is. Put ice in the tank, went back around, actually had a nice cool, I think we got the incoming air was down to like 116 degrees, despite the fact that it was, what did I say, 105. I think it dipped down to about 100 by the time I made my second pass, but it's still plenty warm to be racing. And I was happy that I was able to get the incoming air temperatures down as low as I did. So anyways, second pass, I was prepared to do a big old burnout. I think I took it to 4,000 RPM in third gear. Made sure I was not still in the water box when I did my burnout. That made a big difference, I think. I did actually get on the 2-step before I launched, so it was an actual 3,300 RPM launch, but didn't have a chance to get really any boost built. The timing's still really conservative as I'm playing with the car, and again, I know my tires are bad, so I have it turned way down. So 3,300 data log showed about 1 PSI of boost when I launched, 4 PSI through first gear, 8 PSI second and third. Turbos don't really come alive until about 7 PSI. So when it shifts into second, all of a sudden you hear the RPMs jump up because like it just had a big shot of power because it did. The turbos finally started doing something. So obviously higher RPM and more, adjustment to the timing as far as, building more boost on the line is concerned. So that will happen for the next time out. I'll have better tires for the next time out. But on the second pass, I was really happy with it. 5,800 RPM is where the shift light was on. The car ran a 10.7 at 130 miles an hour. The 660 was at 708 at 105. So it was really pulling there on the top end. Obviously, that's where it had some boost. Like I said, 8 PSI versus the 1 PSI launch and the 4 PSI in first gear. So that's about as much as we can baby the car, because of its limiting factor, those tires. I was actually pretty happy with it. I did want to go 10.4 that night. I didn't think the tires would hurt me that bad. And honestly, I think I could have launched it at a higher RPM. It had no problems getting off the line. It seemed like the traction problems were higher in the RPM when the motor was really singing. So I'll put those 2 clips right here at the end. You can see the first one, which was a disaster, the second one, which went better. But the 2 things to take away from the videos is that not only did the car run very well on very, very minimal boost and a terrible launch RPM, so basically no power off the line, it started making power down the track. Lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. I don't know. That's the best pass I've made at that track. It wasn't prepped. It was, street car night. So it was basically, they just clean the track off. They spray water down in the box, and that's about it. It's not sticky really at all. It did take off just fine. I'm very happy with it. I do look forward to turning the power up and making some good passes with it. But considering how far it was turned down, it still ran in the 10s. I did want to go up to like 11, 12 pounds that night, but I was just too worried the tires wouldn't take it. So it is what it is. Could have been better. But anyways, like I said, here's the 2 clips of the first pass is going to be the bad one. Second pass, slightly better. Still not great. But I should point out, if you watch the second pass closely, I was out of the throttle before I even made it to the end of the track. And I'm looking down. You see me look down twice for overdrive, because as soon as the race was over, I was going to flip into overdrive just to bring the RPMs down. And you see that I'm looking down. And then when I finally pull my hand away from the button, because I'm already in overdrive, then right after that, that's when the wind light comes on. So I wasn't even across the finish line when I got out of the throttle and turned on the overdrive. So all in all, it could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse. So here's those 2 clips. Hope you guys enjoy.